Welcome back to the channel. In this episode, we're going to be looking at Robin Hobb's short story, Homecoming, which takes place during the realm of the Elderlings, um, which probably would fall under I think it's the Live Ship Traders. I haven't read any of her stuff. I plan on it. I have quite a bit of her stuff. This is actually my first going into of hers. But before we get into the story, as always, please like, subscribe, turn on notifications so you know when new videos come on out. Uh, Leave a comment down below. That way, I love hearing from you guys, and I always respond back. Um, Whether you have something that you might want me to read or um, read and review, leave it down below. And as always, spread the word. It helps me out, and I appreciate it. Okay, so Homecoming by Robin Hobb, which appears in the Legends 2 anthology, put together by Robert Silverberg. Um, as I said, I have not read any of Robin Hobb yet, um, but I do plan on it at some point. This story is pretty interesting, the way it all kind of takes place. It comes in the form of journal entries or diary entries. Um, and, we see in the beginning that, it's like the day of the seventh fish moon near the 14th of the reign of the most noble and magnificent satrap Asclepius. So we see this like high opinion of the ruler. And this is coming from Lady Carillion Carrack, who sees herself as an artist, though she is a mother, and is sort of subject to her husband. And what we find out is that they end up going on a voyage. Now, the husband doesn't tell her what this voyage is all about. That it's we're given an opportunity to basically state claims is what it is, but really they're exiles. The men have been branded as criminals, and as being criminals, they and their families are getting shipped off. So as we go, each journal entry, she gets worse about, bad mouthing her husband. He's like not even around when they after they land. He's like off doing all this other stuff, and she doesn't even know, is he alive yet. Still, you know, I'm taking care of my sons. I have to take care of the other women who are expecting. You know, what is he going to do? And he's nowhere around. And their two kids, one of her kids and then one of his friends, they go off and they find this old ancient site. I guess you could say it's of the Elderlings. It obviously, I think it would make a little more sense if I would have read her stuff. But there's lots of treasure in there. But if you touch the walls, then the dead speak through you. You see the ancient city, how it looked. And the more you do that, the more mentally unstable you become. Well, these kids are going. By the time she finds out about it, her husband's just finally able to come back. And all these men decide, we're going to go off and find wealthy treasures, and then we're going to hire a ship to take us back. We're going to go back. That way, we'll be restored. Nowhere does she buy this, though. Because where are you going to hire a ship? There are no ships. The ships that drop them off are gone. They're basically on their own now. So they don't have any way of, you know, of getting in touch with ships. So that being said, we see as this goes on that she does not, she stops referring to His Majesty the Great, and she starts to change the dates to the days of the city after the city's been discovered. And then she's saying, I think that it's this day. But even in year the 14th of Satrap Asclepius, he's no longer the revered. And then she just starts cutting him out altogether. Just saying, day I do not know, year one of the rain wells, or rain wilds. So her entries are even becoming more obscure and leaving out where they came from. And the action of it comes down to this, that the kids are stuck in the city, and there's all these, and men are still holding on to their treasures, and they're not giving them up, and if you try to come after my treasure, I'm going to kill you, kind of thing. But she finds out that, you know, you touch the walls, and now you see the city, and the dead of that city speak through you. And everything's, at this point, they've been in there for so long, everything's gone to mud. They have no way out. There's no way out. They're trapped, basically. And she says, you know what? I've always been an artist, and I've always prided myself on that. My husband's always thought I was a fool to be an artist, or to see myself as one. But I'm going to take that art and I'm going to channel it. I'm going to lean up against this wall, and I'm going to see what I can see and see if there's any way out of this place, because there has to be. And the other thing that's happening, and it's kind of interesting too, is that everybody is starting to get scales on their skin, like fish scales. If it's part of the air, or if it's part of the atmosphere, I don't know. But when she leans up against the wall and she's taking in the colors of the city, the brightness of it, all the trading going on, just the magnificence that was there. And she sees that these people had scaly skin. And it's through this that she's able to see the various layout of this ancient city. And she's able to find a way out for them. Now, the scales that, once they get out, her husband is basically often gone. He's left her way behind, and you know what? She doesn't even care at this point. She's like, good riddance to him. But the scaly skin that she tried to hide in the beginning, when they first started getting that, now is displayed proudly. They have become like their own colony. And she's good with this. It seems like everybody with her is good with this. They have no illusions that they're going to be going back, that they're going to hire ships to take them back. this is where they are, and this is where they're going to have to make a living. And it's interesting the way the story is told through the journal articles. So I mean, through the journal articles, we tend to feel like, okay, she's going to survive, though you don't really know 100%. But I think, I think it was a good story. Again, I think it would have made a little more sense if I would have had some of her other stuff read. But I think a lot of these stories, I'm going to be doing these stories one at a time, and then doing the anthology as a whole. I've already done the Anne McCaffrey story for the Pern stuff, so you can go find that video. That one's already been done. But I'm going to do each one on its own, and that way you can see what is there. Because I plan on reading a lot of these authors. Tad Williams, I got a bunch of his stuff, and Robin Hobb, and Raymond Feist. A lot of them. I got a lot of their stuff, and eventually I will get there. I've got so much stuff to read that it's going to take me a long time to catch up. But anyway, I would give this story, I would say probably a 4.5 out of 5, 4.5. And it probably could go higher. Like I said, if I would have read something, if I would have read her other stuff. But on its own, I think you can read it, and it does make sense. And I think the pacing is good. It's about 75 pages. So it's like a novella, kind of. But yeah, 4.5 out of 5 stars. I would recommend it. So that's the first story out of this Legends 2 1. So with that, again, please like, subscribe, turn on notifications so you know when new videos come on out. Leave a comment down below. I love hearing from you guys. I always respond back. And spread the word. I appreciate it. I appreciate your support. And as always, until next time, keep YouTube literate, and God bless.